Well, 1961 Ford Triumph at Le Mans was definitely better than 1960, where their cars had suffered all sorts of problems, one of which was stretching valves, but they decided to go back in 1961 and have another go. And the film that they were looking at was shot by the Triumph film unit. They had a very good and very successful film unit, did a lot of filming of racing and rallying, and as you can see from the film, pretty even-handed handling of the race. They didn't just show triumphs, I mean they showed pretty well everything else as well, so it's a really well-rounded film of the 1961 Le Mans. Triumph had a full factory team. The TR3A was just coming to the end of its production, but they were still to go on making TR4s right through until 1967, and they had made a lot of those, but they all struggled through to the finish. They still weren't exactly setting the track alight with speed, but it was an interesting race, 1961, because it saw the entry for the first time ever of a rear-engined Ferrari in the Le Mans 24-hour race.
If in the ancient world all roads led to Rome, then in the modern world of high-speed transport, all roads should lead to the Roman city of Le Mans. Certainly they do, for the manufacturer prepared to undertake, in the full glare of world publicity, the most exacting sports and grand touring car race in the international calendar. In 1961, the Triumph team from Coventry in England made good its promise of the previous year and returned to Le Mans. Apart from its duration of 24 merciless hours, the regulations which govern Le Mans make it a technical proving ground second to none, from which the everyday motorist eventually reaps the benefit. Matters of weight, streamlining and fuel consumption are the practical realities of this race, and the scrutineers will accept nothing on face value. All cars must run on the common fuel supplied, and every gallon used will be meticulously recorded throughout the race. From Porsche of Germany comes an assortment of engine capacities. Lotus of England introduce a Coventry Climax engine of only 750 cc's. Ferrari of Italy goes for the big 3 litres, but as yet the drivers have other things on hand. The Triumph's works team of 3 cars is once again managed by Ken Richardson, who drives number 27, the TR, to be shared by Keith Balasat and Peter Bolton, to the pit. Now months of patient effort in the drawing office, on the factory floor and in the test house have reached fruition. The 1961 racing prototypes are ready. Naturally, old friends and neighbours have come along for the christening. Norman Garrett, Peter Harper, Peter Jopp and their Sunbeam Alpines. Entered by the Écurie Casse, this 2.5 litre Cooper. Twice in the past, their Jaguars have won for Scotland. But beyond question, the strongest bid to cover the greatest distance in the 24 hours comes from CFAC Ferrari. 4 works cars, no less than 8 private entries. Success depends upon the proper functioning of every single component, and by no means least important are the windscreen wipers on this very high-speed road circuit. The French call their beloved little DBs the tanks, but one of the problems of advanced aerodynamics is how to get in. The 3 Triumphs were improved versions of the experimental cars which had shown such promise the previous year. Designated the TRS, their specification includes twin overhead camshaft 4-cylinder engine of 1985 cc's, developing some 150 brake horsepower, disc brakes all round, and a separate chassis carrying reinforced glass fiber bodywork. In practice, they had been timed at 140 miles an hour down the Mulsanne Straight.
Tony Stewart is the next Cup champion.
Last season,
season is history. Now, a new chapter begins. Track the performance, check the setups, and catch the strategies of NASCAR's top teams. NASCAR Preseason Thunder, Sunday 7 Eastern on Speed.
Look at that little big bow on your top of your head.